cut it.
Good morning, everyone. I am here with Jim Leonard from the Historical Society of East Pennsboro, excuse me. And today we are continuing to talk about the Enola Miller House, and we are on site with the note that this is our second take on site of this first part of the video because Friday we had some technical difficulties. And now I'm going to give the floor to Jim.
Well, Kristy, I know we have to make some corrections here. Originally we were, starting to talk about the position of the house now and what's going to happen from this point on with the Historical Society and where it's going to end up down here on this property in front of us. So we'll start out basically, we're standing right now along the guardrail here on Miller Street. This will be number 51 Miller Street. Here comes a vehicle. And you're going to have this in a live interview. But right here's where we're standing, where the road's going to come off and go directly down into a parking lot. Behind the house, there'll be probably 9 or 10 parking spaces. Maybe from the fence down to where that red ribbon is on that post. Now, from that point on down, in a small area there, I should probably say in a large area, is where our new Historical Society is going to be. We're going to be building a 40 by 60 building there. It'll be like a pole building, but it'll be an office and a museum, and very similar to what it is down at 410 Cherry Street, only a larger area for us to store our archives. This is what we're going to need. This is one of the reasons we're doing our fundraiser, to get ourselves situated up here, settled down in our new Historical Society building, and that'll probably be sometime around the end of the year, maybe into the spring sometime. But once we get settled in, and the parking lot will be done and the roadway will be in, then we'll be able to get to work on the house, where we're going to be able to actually bring up our display cases and showcase this house as our museum and art, our real gift per se to our community, the Enola Miller House, the home of where Enola Miller grew up. It's a little hard to imagine, that this house was down there about maybe 500 yards away, down at the bottom of the hill, and her front yard would have been facing out towards 11 and 15, where she grew up and played. But just to put it all in perspective, we're in a better position maybe in a lot of ways because we're away from all that heavy traffic down there, but we're not too far from Route 81. We're real close to 11 and 15. We're real close to the Summerdale College, Central Penn College, East Pennsboro High School, the new community that's going to be built here, where there are going to be 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. The position sitting up on this hill, if they don't have their buildings too high, we'll be able to look across the river and actually look over there on that hill where the Civil War Museum is in Harrisburg. And you can also see down there the outline of the capital city of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So, it's good and it's bad. It's been described that way by Jim Hertzler when he gave his speech earlier on when the house was being prepared to be moved. So basically we're looking forward to this now because it's here, it's settled in, it's going to be alive again. We're going to bring it back to the community as a gift to our community and have a really, really nice museum and a wonderful place to work and take care of the archives that everybody has given to us and will give to us in the future. So Kristy, we might have made some mistakes in our first interview, but fortunately there's no noise here right now like we had the first time, but we're at the position now. This is going to be the beginning of that tape, and then the next section you'll be able to see us move up on the hill a little bit and talk about some different things. So I appreciate coming up here again, Kristy.
I appreciate you coming up again, Jim. Thank you.
About the house again. I don't have a problem doing that. So
Well, we really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you again soon for another video for the Historical Society of East Pennsboro and the library.
thanks, Kristy.
All right, so we've taken our walk. Jim, floor's back to you.
Thanks, Kristy. Now we're probably more or less looking down at where the end of our property will be. From the telephone pole, it sort of follows the line of the power and telephone lines going across there. That'll be our line, our property line. And if you want to pan back up here to the right, from the telephone pole up to the edge of the fence will be our property. So we're going to have to maintain that. We're going to have to probably cut grass when we have that planted and have everything excavated and looking real pretty down here. So I'm hoping we don't have to cut it, but we're hoping we can cut a deal with the township and maybe have them come down here and maintain some of this while they're cutting the grass up here in the park. Oh, and that's another perspective. I'm just going to have you pan up here to the right a little bit. I know we can't see the park, and we'll take it up on top again and look behind it. But we're going to be looking at a few minutes later here at where the parking's going to be available when we run out of parking down here behind the building, between our Historical Society building and our Enola Miller House building. So,
You know, Jim, I was just thinking how much this is going to benefit, really, every person who comes to visit PA. Also, because we now are very easy access on and off the highway that people use to travel from historic areas and the Civil War Museum in Harrisburg to Gettysburg, and now we are right where they're going to have easy access to come and learn even more history.
well, you're right, Kristy, because down at the bottom of First Street, all the way down where the house used to be, we're right off of Route 11 and 15, which is really a stone's throw off of Route 81. So I don't know if we'll be able to have any signage out there in that general area showing what's going on up here and where we are, but I know for a fact that the Cumberland County Historical Society's really interested in what's going on here. They're in the midst of preparing a new map of historic places in Cumberland County, and we're going to be part of that show. You know, that trail of historic places from point A to point B all around our county. So this is a future bright spot on that map. And Mr. Hertzler, who is on the commissioners up I shouldn't say commissioner. Yeah, he's a commissioner at the Cumberland County Historical Society, but he's also one of our board of directors here at the at East Pennsboro's Historical Society. So we have a real direct connection right now. He's involved in a lot of projects up there, and he's also on our committee to work on this business of raising money to have this all work according to what our plans are going to be in the future. So, like she said here, you know, we're just a stone's throw away from everybody else. And what's really neat is we are the most eastern point of Cumberland County. And not a lot of people really realize that, you know, the Enola Yard is right down here across from us. So there's a lot of things that can really be looked at when you come here. We're hoping to be able to give tours, not just in the Enola Miller House, and I've done this already from our current Historical Society. People have come that have never been around here and wanted to know what's up with the Enola Yard and, you know, how can we get to see it. So I've often taken people down 11 and 15 and stopped at different points and shown them the yard from the way it used to look and the way it looks today. So I'm excited in a lot of ways that we're going to be able to give a lot to our community because of our new location, because of the building project that's at hand, and one of the other most important things is, you know, we're reaching out to you, the community, and we need your help. And not just money out of your pocket. If you have a skill in typing that you used to do when you were in the workforce and you're not working anymore and looking for something to do, you can help us. You can come and get a hold of us at 732-5801 at our current address, 410 Cherry Street. We're open Tuesday and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We need to set up an appointment with you and talk to you about what you can do for us too, by being hands-on. We're a lot of older people in our historical society. We need somebody that's coming out of the workforce in their age of 60s plus 60, maybe up to 65 or so, still have a lot to give back to the community. So help us out. We need you.
Jim, if they were interested in contacting you via Facebook, could they message the Historical Society of East Pennsboro on their Facebook page?
They can get a hold of us by message on Facebook.
Many times that's the...
Yeah, there's a message section in there you can click on and just send us a message and we'll get back to you.
Great.
If you don't want to give us a call directly. But you can also see a lot of the photographs on our Facebook page, even of the move. I even have a link in there showing that somebody took a video of the move, so you can actually see the house being moved up the field, which was pretty neat.
Much nicer than, I viewed that last week, and it was much nicer than just the clips we've seen from the local news sources.
No, they got music attached to it, which is pretty cool. And, and it's quick time. You don't just see you don't see the house just moving along. I mean, you see it moving along in jerk motions up the hill, and it's pretty neat the way the young lady attached the music video to it, and it's pretty cool. So,
all right, Jim, are you ready to take a trip up over the guardrail and look at the park a little bit and get another view?
Shut her down and we'll take a hike. If we can get our breath up there, we'll start over.
All right, so we took our hike and caught our breath, and here we are back up at the top where the road comes in.
Okay, Kristy, it's our last look at the house for this morning, and it's a little closer. You can really get a nice view of the house and see how pristine it is. It's pretty cool. So looking at me now, we're going to take a little pan and look down at the stop sign. Now, just vision with me, once the house is completed and there's sidewalks out here, that sidewalk's going to end down at the corner, and we're going to have a walk area across the road, and there's going to be a little path up to the parking lot, which is to your right, of course. And you can see the parking lot. There are a lot of spaces for cars, and there are hardly anybody in the parking lot. So if we get overrun somehow by some kind of a tour of cars that we won't be able to have down over the hill from us, there's plenty of parking up here. Looking into the future too, you can bring a carload of young kiddies up here, have a picnic over in the pavilion on the upper part of the field, which is a little difficult to see, but you can see it up through there behind that shed, that little green shed, and people can come up here and have a picnic and come down and visit us on our days of operation. And
there's a place to park a school bus or a tour bus.
Yeah, they could park a big vehicle there without a problem at all. And the other thing is, I'd like to bring up is, right now we're open Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're going to have to change our schedule once we get going. Things are going to change in a big way, in a positive way, and we're going to have to be open probably 2, 3, maybe 4 days a week, and maybe even a Saturday a couple times a month, because not everybody can get here on a work day. So, we've got a lot of future plans to look at to make sure that this all works, not just for us as a historical society, but so the community can come when they need to.
And think how much that will benefit the East Pennsboro School District. They will now have the opportunity to get students out to do volunteer service hours that they must do to graduate by helping out in the community.
That's true. And one nice thing is, I almost forgot, which is real important. Just down over the hill here and up the road to the right, 1 mile away, is Central Pennsylvania College. Now, we have had interns come down and work with us from Central Penn College, especially one in particular who helped to set our website up for us and got her graduation credit. So, that we can be working with them to be accredited with them to get the work hours in, the community service hours in, whatever needs to be done to get their credits to graduate from either high school or college. So
What a great plan. So it's going to affect the community in a multitude of ways.
absolutely. And so I'm sure that we could go on and on and on and on, but to be precise, we're going to cut it off here now and say goodbye to you guys again. And I really look forward to seeing you again. I hope it's not too far down the future, but I wouldn't think that it's going to be more than a year at the most. And we're going to have our building in operation, and we're going to have our tours set up in the house. So long again, and hope to see you in the future.
Thank you.